Today I was talking to a fund manager and he gave me this excellent idea which I wouldn't have even thought in my wildest dreams. I was actually stunned, and that's one of the reasons why I give a lot of respect to these very experienced fund managers who think very out of the box, much different than actually I think about investments. The idea that he gave me was very simple. He said, Anand, in the medium term, Rupee depreciating against US dollar is actually good. Just think about it. Guys, this video is not about economics. It's a pure investment video. He gave me a very simple tip saying why INR going to 80, 81 against dollar is actually good. And I'll tell you how in this video. But before we go to the video, let's first try and understand why did INR go down against dollar, even though all of us, including this fund manager, has been saying that Indian economy is on a much better footing. Watch this complete video. It's very clear. US is getting into recession, Europe is already in deep doldrums, Japan is depreciating very poorly, very fast, African nation never got their due respect, Asia of course is a little stable. But the good thing is India is on a very strong footing. The Indian economy is actually talking about growth rates of 7.8, 7.98%, while the world is talking about recession. Of course, the next year is not going to be as good as this, but we are all on a better footing than any other country. So now you may have this question saying, why is INR depreciating against dollar even though it is growing stronger than US or Europe or many other countries? A lot of people used to say that inflation differential is an indication of the depreciating rate against currency. Then why, when India's inflation numbers are lower than US, INR is depreciating? Very valid questions. I'll just tell you one answer which I thought is the most valid. Liquidity. Flow of money towards safer haven. A lot of people going back to their base country, which is US. A lot of money getting parked in US dollar, creating this artificial demand for US dollar. Simple, when things go bad, what do? You run towards the safest place. In the world, even though there are currencies like Euro, JPY, Pound and Chinese Renminbi, the world goes to US dollar in times of turmoil, and that is what exactly is happening. The entire world is going towards US dollar, creating this need for US dollar, thereby US dollar index or DXY as they very popularly call it, shooting up significantly. We should be happy because the depreciation of INR against US dollar is much lower than many other nations. Even JPY has depreciated 30 odd percent. Euro and USD are almost at the same levels. It cannot be worse than this. Having said that, I strongly believe that even if USD crosses 80 or goes to 81, 82, it should come down to a fair value of about 77. That's a view that I have. I may be wrong. It's not a suggestion, it's just a view that I have. I was a little worried about this entire view, but that was before I met this excellent fund manager. I remember meeting this fund manager 3 weeks back. At that time, we were a little concerned, especially about crude oil. It was actually shooting up and he thought it may shoot up to $120. Then came this big news of USD going as high as 80 rupees, right? It created a huge headline. Of course, it was followed by RBI doing something which is very brave, where they said both imports and exports can now be denominated in INR. These are measures that will definitely have its own impact over the medium to long term. But when I spoke to the fund manager today, he just said, Anand, if USD goes to 81, 82, do you know what really will happen? All these liquidity that is flowing out from the country will again come back to India. Of course, India is the best country to invest in. There is absolutely no doubt about it. But the good thing is, if you're a foreign investor and if you're getting 81 rupees for a dollar of investment and you make about 12, 13, 14%, plus INR ideally should appreciate against dollar, which can be by about 3 or 4 rupees, this can add significant amount of returns to your portfolio, isn't it? Because you sold dollar at 81, grew that money by about 14, 15, 16%. Again, when you wanted to take the money back, the purchase price actually came down to 77. You will have these 3 things working beautifully for you, isn't it? Then why do you think the moment there is some kind of a stability in the market, INR will not come down, plus the market will not go up? both are going to happen. I never could think of it, honestly. I knew that FPIs will have to come out, but I never could find good reasons for USD going to 8081. And now I wish it goes to 8081, because if that happens, the liquidity outflow will stop and a lot of money will start flowing back to the best country in the world today. Did you get my point? For the first time, depreciation is actually good in the medium term for INR. I hope you like this video. Good luck. Happy investing.